What I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab.
And it's exciting. You know, Terrence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside, and he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting.
I'm going with Terrence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terrence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out again.
He wanted to agree that he's done shit that Floyd Mayweather ain't done.
Like what?
Like what?
The audience that don't know.
He is
Two-time
a two-time undisputed champion. Floyd wasn't a one-time undisputed champion. So he has all the belts in one division and then moved up and got all the belts in another division. I don't know if that's ever happened in the history of boxing.
Yes, and he beat the man.
And he beat the man. Let's give Terrence Crawford his flowers because everything he said he was going to do.
He done.
Mayweather stopped Conor McGregor in the 10th round to improve to 50-0 in what he says will be his final fight. I actually believe him this time, Max. What's his legacy?
Well, he's one of the great pure boxers who ever lived. He is never cheated himself. He always was in condition. He had no off nights. That's why he won every fight. It's one of the reasons. Not because he's one of the best to ever do it, and because he was always prepared over a very long amateur and pro career. Amazing. Another reason is he carefully selected opponents, knew when and where and when and who to fight, and basically changed the paradigm in boxing. I'll translate. He flipped the script. I mean, really, boxing is basically, and this is just the way it is, and I'm a huge boxing fan, and I make no apologies about it, but it is fans and networks essentially exploiting fighters. That's how it works. We demand a level of dedication and risk-taking with your health that's insane, right? Like, someone's getting their head beaten every which way, and if you quit, you don't have heart. You can't be a great fighter, which is true, by the way. It's a blood sport. And usually fighters wind up broke and punch drunk. And Floyd Mayweather flipped the script. He said, no, I'm not going to let the game play me. I'm going to play the game.
Everything is on Terrence Crawford's side, all the legacy, meaning he only has the opportunity to win the belts. Saul only has an opportunity to defend them. Terrence Crawford has the opportunity to be in a 5 division and the only person to win all 4 belts in 3 separate weight divisions. Why is Saul taking this fight? And I'm going to tell you why. Because there's some things in life more important than just the belts. And that 20-year career that Terrence Crawford made, that all that he has is very valuable. Very, very valuable. He had 1 foot out the game. And if he can be the man to defeat him, because remember, if Saul beats him, Terrence Crawford was the first man to get all 4 belts in 2 separate weight divisions. Yes, I beat that champion. Yes, I beat the multiple division champion, and he had the oath.
I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically Mayweather's a better fighter.
You faced Mayweather, you were 23 years old, I believe?
23.
And
just turned 23.
Yeah, you just turned 23. You didn't have a lot of seasoning. I know people will say, oh, he had a lot of fights. Well, you didn't have an amateur career. You started boxing at 15 as a pro, right?
Yeah.
So you gave up the weight concession, you gave up the rehydration clause, and I always thought if you would have faced him, with some more seasoning, it would have gone differently.
He deserved the position in that moment because, Floyd Mayweather is one of the best fighters in the boxing history, and he deserved the position in that moment. I try to make history, and I try to put myself in the very top in that moment. But for some reason, doesn't happen, right? And yeah, like you say, if I had that fight with Miguel Angel Cotto first and all these kind of fights and then fight Mayweather, maybe go in the different way. But we never gonna know. We never gonna know, and I learned what from that fight, and like I say, things happen for.
Veteran boxing commentator Jim Lampley offered his perspective on the fight's result, noting that draws tend to leave both fans and fighters feeling disappointed. He pointed out that many had anticipated Gervonta Davis to secure a knockout, particularly given that Lamont Roach had stepped up to a higher weight class for the bout. Lampley suggested that Davis's failure to deliver a knockout might represent a setback in his career and could potentially impact his position within the lightweight division.
Think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Undefeated welterweight champion Terence Crawford took to social media to voice his surprise over the referee's choice not to count Davis's knee incident as a knockdown. In his post, Crawford expressed disbelief, implying that the officials might have overlooked standard boxing regulations during the fight. He tweeted something along the lines of, "I've never seen someone take a knee and it's not ruled a knockdown. Looks like the rules were forgotten tonight."
I was surprised about his power. When you attack Floyd, he has a way of making you run into it and you feel the power like a collision. But when you kind of box away from him, yes, he has power, but not like he does when you're trying to attack him. He's not weak, he's strong. Like I say, he trains hard and he does all the things you're supposed to do as a fighter or as a champion to be the best.
Former 3-division world champion Abner Maries called for a rematch between Davis and Roach, emphasizing that Roach showed his true skill level, something many, including Davis, might have underestimated. Mares suggested that this underestimation played a role in how the fight unfolded, and that a rematch would give both fighters a chance to refine their tactics and approach.
Everybody talk about Shane Carney, but what was the issue? Shane started hesitating. Why did Shane hesitate? Because he took the best shot, and he stood there, held on tight, and on top of that, made Shane feel his strength, and came back out like nothing happened the previous round.
Right.
But still stone cold. Right. And then Shane ends up being the one hesitating, waiting, and the fight get away from him.
I'm saying Shane hit me with a hell of a shot. Okay. Actually, 2 shots. Okay. But even in that particular round, what I said to Shane was this. I was like, you said something to him when you grabbed him. I said, you gotta kill me.
Oh shit.
I wasn't ready, Floyd. I said that was a good one. I said that was a good one, but you gotta kill me. Wow. I said, you gotta kill me. And then I'm not gonna lie, I meant it.
A boxer based in Washington, D.C., shared his concerns about the possible fallout from the fight's controversial result. He worried that Gervonta Davis's young and passionate fan base might respond negatively, which could potentially lead to unrest. He pointed out the noticeable tension surrounding the event, and stressed the importance of responsible management when handling fan reactions in high-pressure situations like this.
The most skilled fighter today.
Bud is definitely one of them, for sure. Tyke Shakur, Devin, Boots,
my favorite.
It's a lot of them, and they skillful in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody that I can bet the house on is Bud, because me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball, wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. You gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So skillful, yes, but this and this, it's different, man. There's not a lot of guys like that out there currently. There's a lot of guys that talk it, but until you get in that real fire, I'm not saying you fighting a guy you should beat. I'm saying a guy that it's a 50-50 matchup. We don't really know what you have. You don't even really know what you have.
In his post-fight comments, Gervonta Davis acknowledged that the bout was a positive moment for the sport of boxing. He praised Lamont Roach as a strong and capable opponent. Davis also recognized that fans expect knockouts from him, given his impressive track record, and admitted that a draw was not the ideal outcome for someone of his stature. His remarks showed an awareness of the high expectations placed on him, as well as a respect for Roach's abilities.
Andre, we just seen Terence Crawford create greatness and beat Canelo Alvarez tonight. What was your thoughts on that performance from Terence?
Terence Crawford is great performance, man. He's been doing this throughout the course of his career. The stakes were a lot different in this fight, a lot more danger. He had to fight that kind of fight in order to beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, and he did that at 37, but getting ready to be 38 years old. And he proved, like Max said, that he is the GOAT of this generation. Hats off to Canelo for taking the fight. He didn't have to take it. Hats off to Turkey Al-Sheikh for putting it together. Just a great night for boxing.
Yeah. How special a fighter is someone like Terence Crawford? There was no signs of a size disadvantage there. How special?
You can see it in spots, but it wasn't significant. And I didn't think it was going to be significant. And people call me crazy, but I've been around Terence. He's strong. He's got a wrestling background, and people don't realize that he's been boiling himself down all these years and still being successful, not having to do that. His condition seemed impeccable, and his strength was there, the power was there enough to get respect from Canelo. So what more can I say?
What would you like to see him do next? Do you think there's another fight after this?
I'd like to see him be done. What are we boxing for at this point? What else is there to do? There's always going to be a YouTuber or a reporter or somebody conjuring up another challenge. We box to get ourselves in a better financial position, to build a name and a legacy. Those boxes are checked. What else are we doing?
Yeah, brilliant.
Why are we still in the game?
Yeah, I get it. Andre, always good to talk to you.
Calvin Ford, Gervonta Davis's trainer, reiterated his long-standing respect for Lamont Roach, emphasizing that he had always been aware of Roach's talent and skill set. Ford's remarks indicate that Team Davis fully understood the challenge Roach would bring to the ring, recognizing the competitive spirit that defined the fight.
I want them to fight. I really like both of those guys. A lot. A lot. You know, I had a chance to hang around Earl. Had a chance to hang around Terence. And both guys, class act. It would look like I'm leaning towards one guy because I've boxed one guy before.
It was beautiful to watch, but also tough to watch to see what happened to Errol. Obviously, we don't wish bad on,
Nobody. The best man won. If I was training him or I was in his corner, I don't think he should be fighting at 147 at all. I don't even think he should be fighting at 154.
Really?
I think he should be fighting at 160 or 168.
Wow.
That's just my honest opinion.
Roach's performance received widespread praise, with many recognizing him as the first fighter to genuinely challenge Davis. Fans have been vocal in calling for a rematch, believing Roach deserves another opportunity to prove his worth.
Probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10, because he definitely had the skill of a top 5. Just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get, and that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for pound for pound. That maybe Inoue because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donell. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost to nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost nobody. Don't tell me he better than Bud. No.
Many fans and analysts maintain that Roach was unfairly treated, pointing to the moment when Davis took a knee but was not ruled a knockdown. This ongoing controversy has only intensified calls for a rematch.
Terence Crawford would beat a prime Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he would beat him. Yes, it would be a competitive fight, but Crawford, master thinker just like Floyd. The advantage that Floyd has is that he has great defense. The advantage that Crawford has is that he not only can fight orthodox, he can also he's versatile. He can switch to the southpaw stance. And we all know that Floyd don't like to fight southpaws. We know that. What happens when you have a guy just as smart as you are and able to make adjustments like Crawford? What happens when you have a guy that can hurt you with either hand? A guy that's powerful and strong like Crawford. A guy that's quick as Crawford. A guy that can fight you in the pocket. A guy that knows how to execute that Philly shell. He knows how to bust through that. He'll have enough to beat Floyd, and he'll have enough to gain respect and hurt Floyd too. I don't think he knocks him out, but I think he'll win in close decisions. Hey, I want to know what everybody else.
For the first time in his career, Davis was unable to secure a knockout, which led to disappointment among some of his fans. Some even booed him after the fight. This reaction highlighted the high expectations placed on him.
What was his power like? Have you been hit by anybody that strong before?
I've been hit harder.
No, in a real fight, not a sparring.
In a real fight. Not Avenesian, but Mean Machine hit harder than Canelo to me. To be honest.
Congratulations.
Even some of Davis's supporters acknowledged that Roach delivered a strong performance and managed Davis's power effectively. This shift in perspective was one of the fight's most surprising outcomes. Jalen Love commented that Lamont Roach outboxed Gervonta Davis during the match, believing Roach did enough to earn the victory and deserved to have his hand raised at the end.
This was your life for so long with Floyd fighting this guy, fighting Manny, fighting Conor, and all those, you were just at the center of all these talks for so many years. It's exciting to be back there again. Any chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
Let's own it. Let's own it. It's been talks. It's possible.
That wraps up today's coverage. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for what's next.